US officials are confirming earlier reports by Ukraine and South Korea that North Korean troops are being sent to train in Russia and could be sent to fight for the Kremlin in Ukraine. The White House says at least 3,000 North Korean soldiers arrived in Russia's Far East earlier this month. This after video shared by Ukraine appears to show those soldiers being given gear and uniforms. Will Ripley has the details.
At this remote Russian military base, a convoy of what appears to be North Korean troops training in a barren, bleak stretch of wilderness deep in Russia's Far East. CNN geolocated this video. Sergeyevka Training Ground, near China and North Korea, the front lines of Ukraine more than 4,000 miles away. Ukraine is where South Korean intelligence says these soldiers are going. 1,500 now, as many as 12,000 could be deployed, South Korean media says. Some seen here, supposedly just days ago, getting their Russian military uniforms. The audio muffled. The language sounds like Korean. We can't independently verify this video, provided to CNN by the Ukrainian government. They also shared this, a uniform sizing questionnaire dated last week in both Korean and Russian for hats, headgear, uniforms, and shoes.
Why would Kim Jong-un be sending troops to Russia and to Ukraine?
So if Russia is successful, then, the North Koreans could follow suit, and it could be a very dangerous situation.
You can imagine this scenario where you might actually have South Korean military personnel, doing reconnaissance in the region, South Korean weapons being used, and then North Korean troops and weapons on the other side. I mean, some are almost comparing this to a mini proxy war, if you will, from the Korean peninsula now to Europe and the front lines of Ukraine. It is really quite an alarming development. And of course, analysts are also saying that the lessons that Kim Jong-un could learn from Vladimir Putin's operation in Ukraine, if in the end Putin is able to seize some territory at all of this, which of course the U.S., Kyiv, they've said that they're going to try to do everything to stop that. But if Putin is successful in the end, that sends a very strong message to Kim Jong-un when it comes to his own.
It says that between early to mid-October, North Korea moved at least 3,000 soldiers into eastern Russia. We assess that these soldiers traveled by ship from the Wonsan area in North Korea to Vladivostok, Russia. These soldiers then traveled onward to multiple Russian military training sites in eastern Russia, where they are currently undergoing training. We do not yet know whether these soldiers will enter into combat alongside the Russian military, but this is certainly a highly concerning probability. After completing training, these soldiers could travel to Western Russia and then engage in combat against the Ukrainian military. We have briefed the Ukrainian government on our understanding of this situation, and we're certainly consulting closely with other allies, partners, and countries in the region on the implications of such a dramatic move and on how we might respond. But let's be clear. If North Korean soldiers do enter into combat, this development would demonstrate Russia's growing desperation in its war against Ukraine. Russia is suffering extraordinary casualties on the battlefield every single day, but President Putin appears intent on continuing this war. If Russia is indeed forced to turn to North Korea for manpower, this would be a sign of weakness, not strength, on the part of the Kremlin. We have been watching this relationship grow and deepen now for many, many months. And the question that we're asking ourselves, and we don't have an answer for right now, is what does Kim Jong-un think he's getting out of this? And so you talked about information sharing. I mean, maybe that's part of this. Maybe it's technology. Maybe it's capabilities. We don't have a good sense of that. But that's what's so concerning to us is not only the concern for the impact on the war in Ukraine, but the impact that this could have in the Indo-Pacific with Kim Jong-un benefiting to some degree.
朋友都知道我是很挑剔的， 防晒乳我选 KISS 皇家呵护抗光清爽高防晒凝露，因为它有媲美蓝光神盾的抓藻植萃，保护我在阳光下延缓肌肤老化，维持青春弹力。可以防御工作环境里的3C 商品、各种光源对肌肤的伤害，擦起来清爽不黏腻。我特别喜欢它做到海洋友善，365天，天天抗光抗老化，是我的保养日常。你呢？呵护您，呵护全家人，专属你的 KISS Royal Care 抗光清爽高防晒凝露。